In our previous video, we looked at a model that we could use to represent exponential growth. Let's look at a model we can use to represent exponential decay. Notice the model is the exact same thing as for growth, other than we have in parentheses 1 minus the rate, because I'm losing value, instead of 1 plus the rate. So everything still means the same. A is our initial amount, R is our rate as a decimal, and then T is our time. So let's take a look at how this will work with buying a new car. So our initial value of the car is $25,000. So I'll plug that in right here. That 1 is in parentheses. It's always there to represent us starting out at 100%. And then I'm losing value this time, so I'm going to subtract my rate. Now be careful, remember the percentage is not the rate. We have to change that into a decimal. And even though it's a decimal percent, it's not a decimal. So still divide that by 100 or move your decimal point over 2 spaces so that decimal, the number we're using in the model, is 0.042, and I want to raise that to 8 because I want to do this for 8 years. So that's what I'd recommend, just typing in your calculator. Just type in the full thing exactly as it is. I don't really know what 1 minus 0.042 is, but I don't really care. Just type the whole thing in at once. If you type it in piece by piece, though, make sure you're doing the exponent before you multiply by 25,000. Exponents come before multiplying in order of operation. So just make sure that you're getting the same answer that I do, otherwise you're typing something in incorrectly. So that car is going to be worth about $17,736, and since we're dealing with money, let's go 2 decimal places and get 34 cents. So again, make sure that you're able to get that answer. If not, something's been typed in incorrectly. Okay? Let's take a look at this other part of the problem as well and see what we're going to come up with. So this is a little bit of a different question. This time, I don't know how many years, that's the question. We want to know how long it's going to take for our car to be worth half of its initial value. Well, its value when we started was $25,000, so half of that is $12,500. So that's what I want to set my equation equal to. I want to end up with a car that's worth that much. So let's rewrite the rest of our model then to see if we can figure out a way to solve this. So we had $25,000 as the initial amount. We were losing value, so I had 1 minus 0.042. And then this time, I don't know what the years is. That's the question. So I'm just going to put a T or an X up there because that's what I'm trying to work out. Now, if you watched our last video about zombies, you know our 2 methods that we have at this point are either a guess and check to find the answer, which I think is great. We can find a range of values. Or we could also graph this. We would graph one side as Y1 and graph the other side as y2. Now, if you're watching this as a review video, you may know about logarithms, and you may be able to solve this problem using logarithms. But for now, let's go ahead and switch over to the calculator and try both of those methods, the guess and check method and the solving by graphing method.